So Gimel and Beis, we're pretty far along in the chazara. It's Gimel and Beis, close to the thicker lines. We're starting from Gufa, Amr Rabbi Shulman Levi. So Gufa, Amr Rabbi Shulman Levi. So we have a question on the text of the Rabbi Shulman Levi. Krach, again, we're going through a bunch of Rabbi Shulman Levis now. Krach v'chol samachlei. So a krach, a walled city, v'chol samachlei, and anything that's around that city, v'chol hanera imai, and whatever is seen when you're looking at this walled city, nidan krach, is all halacha like a krach. In other words,
Gathering day.
Right, about the reading of the Megillah. So the Gemara asks the question: Tana samach afal pisha ein nira, nira afal pisha ein samach. Right. So this is part of the text. It says that samach, if it's close and you can't see it, or if you could see it and it's not close, either of these two situations. So the Gemara is asking: Bishlam nira afal pisha ein samach mishkachas la. If you're going to tell me that it's close, but you could see it, but it's not close, I could hear of such a thing, kigayin the asub shahar, because the example the Gemara is giving that it's on top of the mountain. So it's nira because you see the city and then you see the mountain up here. It's not right, adjacent. It's not right next to it, but you see it when you're looking at it from the other mountain. So what's the case of something that's near, but you can't see it? If it's near, why can't you see it? Rabbi Yirmiyah says, I'm not sure what the chiddush is, but because it's really the exact opposite of the other case, so I'm not sure what the question or the answer is over here. Maybe somebody has a good, or about that. Rabbi Yirmiyah says, so the city is sitting inside a valley. So when you look, you don't see it, but it's actually very close. Next Rabbi Shulman Levi. A city that people lived in and afterwards became a walled city. Such a city is considered a village. It's not considered a walled city. My timer, what's the reason? We're talking about not Megillah. We're talking about over here. It's the halacha of Beis Moshe v'Yechaima. Shehukaf l'b'sav Yashav v'lai sheyashav l'b'sav hukaf. Right. So it says that, and a man bought a house in a city that had a wall. So it had a wall first, and then afterwards, people moved in. And not that people lived there and then they built a wall around it. Another Rabbi Shulman Levi. A city that does not have asar batlanen, 10 people who are always available to be mashlam a minyan, to make sure that this place always has a minyan, it's considered a kvar in la halacha. So what's this teaching us? Tanino, we already have a Mishnah that says Eizahi Egedoila. I think it's maybe the next Mishnah in our. It might be the next Mishnah that we're going to learn. Eizahi Egedoila. What's considered a big city? Kol she'esh b'asar batlan. A city that has 10 batlan is considered a big city. Pachos mikan harei zakvar. Less than that is a village. Krach itzrichlei. Afalgav the mikloi le me'alma. Right, for a krach, you need the extra Mishnah to tell us this, right? Because you have a situation where there's a bunch of people there, and the people come and they daven there. But since they're not always there, so for this halacha, we need to tell us that you need to have a sar batlanim for it to not be considered a kvar. The next Rabbi Shulman Levi. Rabbi Shulman Levi krach shecharav. A krach that got destroyed and afterwards became inhabited, dwelled, is considered a krach. The Gemara asks, "My charav, what does it mean that it was destroyed?" If you're saying that when we say the word charav, that it got charav, it got destroyed, does that mean that the walls around it got destroyed? If so, yashav in, lo yashav lai. If people still live there, so then
it's considered a city.
Why would it not be a city anymore? Lo yashav lai. And if nobody's sitting there anymore, so it's not a city. If nobody's living there anymore, it's not. The Hatanya, so we bring a brisa. Rabbi Lezer bar Yossi Omer, Asher loy chayma. That it does not have a wall. Afal pisha ein lo yachshav, even though right now it doesn't have a wall. V'haya loy koydem l'kein. But before it had a wall, so it was still a walled city, and right now it's considered that it doesn't have a wall. Elamai charav. So the Gemara says, so when we say charav, what do we mean? Shecharav me'asar batlanim. That this city used to have the status of asar batlanim. They had asar batlanim here. They moved away, or they couldn't afford to pay them, or whatever happened. So that's what we say when we say charav. They lost the status of having the asar batlanim to sit around and make it an actual city. But Amr Rabbi Shua ben Levi. Next one. These places, the cities, Loid, Ainu, and Gei Harashem, they were surrounded by a wall in the times of Yeshua ben Nun. You tell me that Yeshua built these cities. So Alpal was later than Yeshua. And the Chsiv, the Gemara is saying, but Alpal built this because we have a pasuk that says, B'nei Alpal ever mesham v'shemer hu bana es aynoi v'sloit u'v'nei se'ah. He rebuilt these. He built these cities. U'latamech, and according to your reasoning, Asa Benani, same cities that we're just saying that were time of Yeshua ben Nun. Now we're saying afterwards. And according to your questioning, I'll ask you a question on that Asa built them. The Chsiv and Asa came after Elpal. But even Asa is already Absaris Yehuda. Amr Elazar, Hani Mekavos Chaim Yeshua ben Nun Havu. All these cities were surrounded by a wall in the time of Yeshua ben Nun. Charuv b'mei Pelagish Begiva. In the time of this affair of the Pelagish Begiva that we discussed, was like a big tragedia. There was a big scandal, and these cities got destroyed. As Alpal came afterwards. He was a king, Benanhi, and he came and he rebuilt them. Hadar Impol. After the next time that there was a scandal and it got destroyed, Asa Shabsinhum. Asa came and rebuilt the walls that were cracked and put it back together. So really this was a city that was there before. They Kanami Ksiv. We also have a pasuk that supports this, Vayim Yehuda. He says, Yehuda Nivnes Arm Ha'elam Mechlal Arm Havu Mikara. Shmamina. So because it says, let's build these cities, Arm Ha'elam, these cities. You don't build these cities that weren't built before. These cities were built, they rebuilt them. Shmamina. Amr Rabbi Shua ben Levi. Rabbi Shua ben Levi, Nocha Memor. Nashim Chayav is Megila. Sha'af ein hayu be'oizoi haneis. So women are mechoyev in Mikra Megillah because even they were included in the neis. When we say that they're included in the neis, we mean that they were also what? Right. It was also a decree on them that Purim to kill right. Rabbi Shua ben Levi says, Purim shechol liyos b'Shabbos, a Purim that falls out on Shabbos, shoyle medarshem binyan shalyon. So we discuss the halachas and the story of Purim on that day, on Shabbos. Even though it's Shabbos and we're not practicing Purim, we're not reading Megillah, we're not doing Matons of Yonim, still we discuss Purim. My year Purim, why specifically Purim? I feel Yontif Nami is like tomorrow. Even Yontif, because we have a brayso that says Moshe tiken lahem liyisrael sheyu shalom darshan binyan shel yoim. Moshe was Masakin. Moshe established that the Yidden discuss and learn the halachas of Pesach on Pesach, the halachas of Shavuos on Shavuos, the halachas Hilchas Chag b'Chag, Purim Mitzrich Alei. Purim we need the same. We already know all the Yom Tovim we learn on the Yom Tovim on that Yom Tov. What we think? Nigzar Mishum Derabba. Kamash Malon. Right, so we would think that because of Rabbah, now we remember the Gzeira of Rabbah was that we don't read the Megillah on Shabbos, even though if it's Purim, because Shema Yitlana B'Yodai, for the same thing as Shofar and the same thing as Lulav, that because you might carry it, come to carry it without the Erev, so we don't think. So because of that, we might say that we don't say the Megillah, we don't read the Megillah, maybe we don't even discuss it. So that's why we needed specifically this Brisa to come and teach us this. Rabbi Shimon Levi. Nocha, Rabbi Shimon Levi. Chayav adam l'kos Megillah b'layla v'l'shnois b'yom shenema. Chayav, a person is obligated to read the Megillah by night and then read it again by day shenema. The pasuk says, Elikai ekro yomim v'leisana v'layla v'leidgomili. Hashem, I will call to you by day and don't answer, and at night and I'm not quiet. We might think that this learning it by day and l'shnoisa l'misna, could also be a mishnah that you discuss it. You learn the mishnayos about it. So we bring down the saying that people say, I will go over and then I will repeat it. And that was a lashon that they use, that could be, Mishnah, but specifically he's referring to repeating it by day. Itmanami, Amr Rabbi Chelba, Amr Ula, Bira. We also have a saying from Rabbi Chelba, who says in the name of Ula from Bira, a person is obligated to read the Megillah by night and then repeat it again by day, Shenema, because it says in the pasuk, he brings down another pasuk, for that I will say about your covered, and I won't be quiet. Hashem, Elikai la'olam Maidaka.